What about mine?
I like yours too.
You know what
It's a good vanilla with if you're on audio right now, Blaine's got a nice vanilla cream kind of pullover situation with, what would you call that color underneath? Would you call that light teal?
Seafoam.
Seafoam.
Oh, okay.
Seafoam
That's actually
green.
probably exactly
Why is
what
that?
it is.
Why is that so good? Cohen, I was thinking about maybe next year we run you for office.
Me for office? Where?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
You'll win.
Let's do it.
You keep the hair.
Get off my lawn.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I'll do it. Just tell me where you need me. Tell me where you need me, man.
Yeah,
That's where
little
I'll be.
Maction last night. It's funny. I put this on social media. Like, obviously, everybody's like, "All right, tonight, gearing up for the midterms, man." I'm like, "Bro, y'all talking about J.D. Vance and Tim Ryan in Ohio? I'm talking about Miami, Ohio versus Ohio. I'm over there watching Maction fist pumping as the over hits in the fourth quarter after a terrible start offensively for both teams. I had three-team parlay. I had the over in Miami, Ohio versus Ohio. I had Ball State plus 11 is my other bet. That wasn't part of the parlay. I had Toledo winning, Eastern Michigan winning, and the over in the Miami, Ohio versus Ohio game. Those three hit. Ball State lost, like I needed them to for the parlay, but covered the 11. It was beautiful. Blaine went 2-0 last night. You went 2-0 last night.
Do we have a 6-0
The boys
night?
went 6-0.
Boys went
last
the
night.
sports guys-
Eastern Michigan came down right before halftime. Eastern Michigan with the touchdown right before halftime.
The sports guys showed up last night.
Yes.
And
Look,
performed.
We did our thing.
Well, that's why I'm so glad I cover sports and not politics, because every day's game day for us. Like, there's literally something for me to watch every day to get excited about and care about. Politics, you only get it once every 2 years. I couldn't do that. Couldn't do it.
Dude, you're so political, though. Have you not heard? You're
Oh
so
my God,
political.
it's amazing.
Because you went and voted yesterday.
Yeah,
You're
it's so bad.
political.
Well, I always laugh because, we always talk about the show. We don't talk politics on here. Rarely at all do we do. When it does, it intersects. Like, obviously, the Leah Thomas situation. NIL is political and stuff like that. But I also have a personal account on social media. So, like, I'll put out my opinion that's not on the show, that is not expressed on the show or anything like that. People are like, "Oh, I thought it was sports without politics." I'm like, "Yeah, on the show. I'm sitting at my house with my shoes off next to my animals, tweeting from a handle that says my name on it." So it's funny because those same people will be like, "Oh, fascist this and fascist that," but you're the one telling me that I can't have an opinion. Like, I can have no personal opinion. I saw some guy tweet last night that if you work in sports media, you should never talk about politics. Like, you shouldn't, which is ridiculous. I'm not talking about on the show. Like, that's different. He's talking about just in general. Like, which to me is like, so if we did that, if you got your platform because you were good at cooking, that's all you can talk about is cooking. Can't talk about sports. Can't talk about politics. I don't think he realizes how that goes against what he's thinking. Like, I can see what he's thinking, but what he's saying doesn't make sense. Like, I just always laugh at those people.
Well, I'd say the thing about the show is, even if it does come up, this is the type of show, doesn't matter what side you're on, what aisle you're on, it's an all-inclusive show. Like, we want you here. We'll listen. Your opinion matters. That's the great thing about our fan base. It's not a toxic fan base or anything like that. We got people from everywhere who believe in all different things, and you're welcome here. We're all one big family.
Yeah, look, if you vote, I don't care. Let me say that I don't care who you voted for outside of the Heisman race and some of these other situations.
Yeah.
We'll get down to that. Like, I don't look at somebody and say, "Oh, you're part of this party." I instantly hate you.
Yeah,
I'm opposite. Most like a lot of people are like that. I don't care. It's like people are like, "Oh, well, when somebody calls somebody racist, they're like, "Oh, well, no, I have 8 black friends." Like, no, you have 8. I have friends. When I make friends, I don't look at what somebody looks like and says, "Oh, I want to be your friend because of what you look like," or "I'm not going to be your friend." I want to be your friend based on who you are, like, as a person. I don't look at it as, "Oh, well, I just hit my quota of having this many friends from this ethnic background." That's half our problem. Like, we don't. It's so divided in everything right now.
I think another big problem is the confusion between politics and culture. If Colin Kaepernick or someone kneels on the football field at their job, to me that's not political. There's no legislation that's being passed.
Yeah.
It's a cultural event within the sports realm that either we can lean into and talk about or we can ignore.
Well, it's again, I mean, NIL is political. Like,
that is
nature. The
that's
transfer
true. That's
portal.
more political,
the transfer portal is political.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently you can't talk about any of that stuff, but it's it's ridiculous, and it's ignorance is what it is, and that's a big problem I think that a lot of people have. Big Game Boomer joins us to break down last night's college football rankings. We're going to discuss the future of Alabama's dynasty after some struggles this year, and Jerry Jones says OBJ would look mighty good in cowboy blue. I'm Jake Crane. It's Wednesday, and welcome to Crane & Company. Now, sometimes we all fall victim to getting caught up in the moment, and that's in all walks of life. We forget to look at large data sets or patterns, and we only go by recency bias. And that's why I'm telling the few people that I've heard, and everyone else, that if you think Nick Saban and Alabama are coming back down to reality, I wouldn't count on it just yet. There are 3 different entities that I never question: God, Nick Saban, and my fiance, and all for different reasons. There's a little room for worry, seeing as Alabama's losing games in ways that really we haven't seen in a long time, with self-inflicted things. Now, in the past, the few losses that Bama suffered were because a team either played out of their minds for 4 quarters and punched above their weight, or something legitimately crazy happened at the end of the game. But this team is losing in a way that Bama typically beats people. Now, while that may sound a little confusing, when you hear Saban use the term process, what he's referring to is getting the best players to play the most disciplined. That's the trick. In the game of football, most teams lose games. They don't win them. And when you're counting on 11 different individuals to do the right thing consistently at the same time, it's just how it goes. And Saban's formula has always been talented players, play more buttoned up than your guys, and let gravity do the rest. This year's seen Alabama get penalized more than a fiance who doesn't shut the kitchen cabinets when he takes something out. We're still working on that. And we've seen very uncharacteristic blunders on special teams in areas where Bama usually outdisciplines people. Now, Nick Saban runs on HGH, Little Debbie's, and coffee, which I'm starting to believe may be the recipe for the fountain of youth. And this year seems more of an anomaly than what we've seen when you look at the whole data set with Saban and Alabama. Now, it's good to see some fresh faces and new blood at the college football playoff table. But if you think Saban or Alabama is just about done, I would guess again, don't sleep on him. He's a GOAT for a reason.
GOAT.
I'm going to bring in former Michigan quarterback, Heisman candidate, the hair of a god and the mind of a scientist.
Looking good today?
David Cohn. God, it's luscious.
Oh, man, yours too.
Thank you.
And Blaine's.
Let's just compliment each other for an hour and a half. How about that?
It's a good Wednesday.
It's a good Wednesday. It's a good Wednesday. My brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver. He's got a beard that would make Zeus blush. And he
growing
also,
it out. I can't shave it. It's November.
You can't. So when are we going mustache is the question. Everybody's
Not
asking.
halfway through.
Wait, so you're doing the no shave November?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But what? Okay, you're
I did
mustache
sober October.
November.
All right, then I'm doing no shave November.
You did sober October?
Mhm.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
But November 15th, mustache?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Go with the
nice,
stash. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Very
Start wearing
nice.
a cowboy hat.
Well, guys, look, and it hasn't been a lot of people. Now we've seen other sports media people. We've seen them say it about Dabo Swinney and Clemson, and you're starting to hear, wait, is Nick Saban losing it? Is Alabama's dominance? Is the reign coming to an end? And look, football's cyclical. It's going to go through these cycles of teams that are up, teams that are down, then it switches. I don't know if we're going to see the dynastic type run that we saw with Nick Saban in Alabama because of the transfer portal and NIL and expanded playoff, and the game's changed so much. Kind of the playing field, pun intended, has changed a little bit. But there is nobody that is more motivated, and there's nobody that has made it to the top that is more malleable. I think that's the even bigger point than Nick Saban. So as somebody who grew up in Auburn, I can promise you this. Don't sleep on these guys. Don't think that Nick is done. He's more pissed off than anybody. You're a Bama fan sitting in the house. You think you're pissed off? You think you're upset about Alabama losing 2 games in the regular season? Oh, no. Oh, no, you lost 2 games in the regular season. High-class problems. It's almost a compliment to Nick. But if you're an Alabama fan, you think you're upset? This man right here, this man was put on this earth to do one thing. Yell at people and win national championships, okay? I know those are 2 things, but they're basically one when you use it the way that Nick Saban does. Having said that, this Alabama team, I do think, like I said, is an anomaly. We're seeing them actually beat themselves, which you have not seen from Alabama's teams. That is the trick. That is the trick of when you have 125 people on a roster, 85 guys on scholarship in a game where you have 11 people on the field that play basically all different positions that have to do different things the right way at the same time, the more consistent you're able to be, just mathematically, that other team's going to screw up at some point. And when you have the best players, when you have NFL players that play more disciplined than a team with a couple NFL players, you're going to murder people consistently, and that's what we've seen for Alabama. So I would not sleep. I would if I'm any team out there, I'm not even talking about SEC teams. Nick Saban may coach till he's 100 now. Like that's, and y'all think I'm joking about the HGH stuff. No, it's a real thing. A lot of coaches take HGH. Hell, they're allowed to take it. They're not out there playing. I don't think it's a bad idea. You know, we see commercials of Frank Thomas out here still hitting home runs at 70 years old because of Nugenics out there just, confronting people in the gym about why they're looking, sloppy and non-motivated. But I really believe, Cone, that Nick Saban may come back harder next year. And with the 12-team playoff, imagine this. You got 2-loss Bama. 12-team playoff, they went out. They're probably still getting in. And they could probably, they may win the thing, to be honest with you.
High-class problem.
High-class problems.
I mean, Coach Saban has set the bar so high in terms of his ability to reload rather than rebuild after having a championship team that one loss, everyone overreacts to it. I get so tired of seeing it in the media. One loss, Paul Feinbaum will come out and say the Nick Saban dynasty is over. It's the same thing that Max Kellerman used to do with Tom Brady. The first interception that Tom Brady would ever throw in a season, Tom Brady's career is finished. How's that been working out for you?
Yeah.
Now,
where is Max Kellerman?
Exactly. I don't know. And Tom Brady's added another Super Bowl since he left the Patriots and joined Tampa Bay. But Nick Saban's ability to always figure out a way to reload and have a competitive team every single year is not normal. I'm trying to tell people it's not normal. It used to be if you win one championship, you take a few years to build up the senior class and stack a few more classes. Maybe you win another one in 4 years, something like that. Now he is able to compete for it every single year. Now, he returned the best player in the country, I thought, on offense in Bryce Young, and the best player on defense in Will Anderson. So to not be undefeated and be the favorite for the championship right now, I'm a little bit surprised at that. But he's lost 2 football games. 2 football games this season so far. We don't need to overreact. Bobby Bowden at Florida State lost more than 2 games 24 times. Bobby Petrino at Penn State lost more than 2 games in a season 34 times. Joe Paterno. What did I say?
Bobby Petrino.
Oh, Bobby Petrino. Joe Paterno. Sorry.
Penn State.
Yeah. Lost more than 2 games in a season 34 times. Okay, even Bear Bryant at Alabama, more than 2 losses in a season 12 times, something like that. So we need to stop freaking out about this.
Yeah, and look at the recruiting class. Guess what? Gonna be good again. You seen Jalen Milroe? Now, I know Ty Simpson, they think's next up. But look, Blaine, they're not bad at football, and I don't think Nick Saban's going anywhere.
No. If anything, you just kind of missed on some transfer portal guys, in my opinion. Jahmyr Gibbs, great, but Eli Ricks has not been playing great.
Well, Blaine, too. Look, Alabama is like 3rd in the nation in average yards per carry, but like 88th. Are like 90th or something, maybe even higher than that in rushing attempts. Bama doesn't run the ball anymore.
No,
they don't run the ball.
And that's on Bill O'Brien.
Yeah,
I obviously will. I think him and the DC will probably have a good sit down and talking to Saban and just figure everything out. But I don't think Alabama dynasty is over. I just think people are catching up. The way Georgia is catching up. You can see kind of where it's going to come to next.
It's an Anakin Obi-Wan situation.
It's going to be Kirby Smart. And Georgia, what's Nick been dominating for 16 years, guys? He lost 2 games, and one was by a team on the road they basically won the national championship, and you just lost to an extremely good LSU team at night, and you're beating yourself. So if anything, Saban them are going to fix it, but Georgia is coming. Georgia is coming, and the only people who are going to be able to stop Georgia is Bama. I'm sorry, that's it. There's no one in the country other than Bama who has the players who are that big and fast. Maybe Ohio State on a good day, Michigan, I don't know. But Georgia right now is turning into the new Bama.
Next 5 years, you buying Bama or Georgia? I'm buying Georgia.
Yeah, Kirby Smart's just younger. He's going to be doing this for a long, long time. So 5 years, I'm not sure, but 10 years plus, give me Kirby Smart. You can see what he's building right now. Even this year, you're talking about reloading instead of rebuilding. 5 first-round picks on defense, and Nolan Smith is out. And look what they just did to Tennessee. Just look at the way they're playing football. And Rusty Manziel came on here because Mark Richt had that Georgia program in a very good place, but was unable to get over the national championship hump. And Rusty put it in a good way, which is when Mark Richt was the head coach there, 1 through 45 was elite. Now 1 through 85 is elite.
It's
You
depth.
can't point at a player on the Georgia football team walking through the halls who isn't like, wow, he stands out.
And it's not only the players in the SEC. Just look at the depth and coaching in the SEC. I mean, who'd you add this year? You added Brian Kelly. The next 5 years, you want to buy another
You got
team?
rid of Brian Harsin.
Yeah, and you got rid of Brian Hartson. The next 5 years, you want to buy another team? You can buy this. Brian's doing this in his first year at LSU, beating at Bama at home. First year, Nick Saban. Then you got Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Then you got Kirby over at Georgia. I mean, you can just see the depth in coaching. Sooner or later, Saban was going to lose.
Yeah.
And he lost 2 games. Why are people freaking out?
Yeah, it's like they say, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. I believe that was Harvey Dent, something like that. True story?
True story.
It was Harvey Dent.
So what is it? 4 losses in the past 3 seasons, right? 4 losses. I mean, Texas A&M's on a 5-game slide right now. You know, I thought Matt Moscona made a good point yesterday on the Brian Kelly thing that you're talking about, which is Brian Kelly's best teams at Notre Dame lost to Nick Saban and Alabama 41-14, 41-12, something like that, and 31-14. And now he's saying quite possibly the worst team he'll have at LSU, if he recruits like he's supposed to, just beat Nick Saban in his first year.
Yeah, do you think after LSU beat Bama, was there like a moment where Brian Kelly was by himself where he just like looked around to make sure nobody there and he's like, yes,
For sure.
It was the right decision. It was the right decision. It was the right decision. And guess what? I think Marcus Freeman's going to be great at Notre Dame.
Could be a win-win.
I think you could have the old proverbial Michael Scott win-win-win there.
Yeah.
But no, definitely when he was by himself or with his wife, I forgot his wife's name, but he's like, Deborah, who was right? Told you. It's amazing. Fair fight. But speaking about a fair fight, it's not a fair fight if you want the best coffee. Black Rifle, that is where it's at. They've got an unbelievable amount of blends. I mean, you can talk about the flavors for days. I mean, it's like a candy factory for people that love coffee. And apparently 3 cups of coffee or something can help you live longer. So I may never die if we're going to go on that thing. But the guys at Black Rifle, it typically coffee comes with you know, kind of your frou-frou, you think, you know, like what Blaine orders when we go to Starbucks or whatever. But Black Rifle delivers an entirely different experience. It's bold, it's strong, and delicious, just like you as well. All right, it's the coffee that I choose to get me through the day. It's veteran-founded and operated Cone. They help servicemen members successfully transition from the military into entrepreneurship. They provide veteran assistants who want to launch businesses of their own and things like that. It's just a great product.
So when I'm drinking coffee, number 1 priority is I want to drink great coffee. They check that box. Also, veteran-owned, I think, is awesome. They check that box. Further down the list, but still kind of cool to me, is the packaging. The packaging is awesome.
It is pretty cool. Like, you feel bad about opening. Like,
I feel like you care.
Oh, for
like
sure.
You care when
you're going the extra mile.
That's the point.
Like, it's cool when I can wake up, look at my coffee, and it's you know, just like, hey, what's up, bazooka.
But how am I not going to try a cup of this?
That's exactly right. I want to see what it's about. Hell, I had to do the 1-chip challenge. But you need to make sure you go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, for 10% off your first order when you sign up for your new Coffee Club subscription. Welcome to the club. Not the Booster Club, but the Booster Club and the Coffee Club can combine to make the biggest club of all time. The subscription gives you free shipping on all Coffee Club orders, early access to club deals and promotions, and special discounts from their partner brands. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Use that promo code BOOSTER for 10% off your first order when you sign up to become a Coffee Club member. They're supporting veterans, and you support them and America's best coffee. That's Black Rifle Coffee. All right, Blaine, from America's best coffee to America's best club.
Let's do it. Michael Hodgefelder with a $5 donation.
Hit the button.
He says, Jake, your Lou Holtz impression was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Here we go. Can you please do an Ed Elgeron impression? Also, can we shed some light on the Gators for once?
Ed Orgeron impression?
All right, so I'm Max Johnson. I just threw a completion to the tight end instead of the wide receiver, and I come over to the sideline.
Hey, boy, get over here.
It's not bad.
You know, typically you know how to spice up the gumbo, but here, we're wide receiver you at LSU. You throw it to the wide receiver. I'm supposed to go into a recruiting room, tell a 5-star wide receiver, we're throwing to a tight end. Only tight ends I care about is at the bar after the game, boy.
Give me a Go Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you. Hold on, my throat's on fire.
Is that your first time?
Florida Gators.
Yes.
That's pretty
Florida
good.
Gators. Look, I think Billy Napier was a great hire. I'm going to continue to say it. Anthony Richardson, kind of hit or miss. He needs time there. That roster, while it does have talent, I'm not saying that Florida doesn't have any talent on that roster. They are not nearly what they are going to be when Billy gets that thing rolling. He needs a little bit of time, and you're looking at Miami struggling year 1 under Mario. Mike Norvell in Florida State have been a little bit above mid this year, kind of trending in the non-mid, above mid direction. UCF's going to the Big 12. You know, I think they're kind of scary if you're one of the Power 5 schools in the Big 12 with where they are in the market. But when it comes down to Florida, I would not panic at all. Look at recruiting. I think Billy was the right man for the job. He's a guy that built up a lot of equity at Louisiana, and I think he understands what he got himself into.
All right, let's go to Travis Elrod. What up, Travi? Hashtag Ask Crane & Company. Does Nick Saban have the ability to stay as long as he wants to at Alabama? Yeah. Will we get to a Joe Paterno situation where he's just staying too long?
No, you know, I think Nick. I think Nick's a little bit of a different animal, man. I think he's the type of person when he realizes that he's not as effective as what Nick Saban usually is and what people are expecting from him. I think he will say, you know what, I'll go do ESPN or I'll go up to the lake and watch the geese do what they do, whatever. But make no mistake, he is going to pick his predecessor. But I don't think he's a hanger-oner. I think he's a guy that understands when he's effective and when he's not effective. And I think that's something that's really helped Nick Saban throughout his whole career.
All right, let's go to Hardcore DIY says, will y'all please put somebody from the South on y'all's payroll? You got 3 guys from the South right here.
Somebody from the South.
On y'all's payroll. I mean, you got 2 Bama and a Georgia boy, so I don't know how you get more Southern than that.
Yeah.
That's interesting to hear because I always thought we'd get the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, would you not have 3 Southern guys on the show? But,
yeah, literally. Let's go to Dakota Blackburn. What's up, Dakota? Hashtag Ask Crane & Company. What's the foreseeable future at A&M with Jimbo? Also, there's no way you can watch Haynes King and not see the dark helmet from Spaceballs.
Oh, it's exactly right. Like I'm just waiting for him to battle Pizza the Hut for interstellar domination. Look, Jimbo's got to make some changes. I think he needs to bring in an offensive coordinator. I'd go throw the bank at Garrett Riley. You want to come in here and hang out? Let's do it. I'd go throw it at him. My thing on A&M, and this is what I've said, is that if I'm an A&M fan, when it comes to Jimbo, I'm not as worried about the team struggling as I am that you looked at Haynes King throw the ball and decided that was going to be the guy. Like you've coached a ton of quarterbacks. You put guys in the league that probably shouldn't have been in the league. Look at Kellen Mond, a couple others as well, Christian Ponder. Jimbo, I think, has got to kind of step back into more of a CEO role. I think he does have to make some changes with how he goes about things. That doesn't mean you don't have full control. That doesn't mean they don't run an offense that has your identity. That doesn't mean you don't have your fingerprints on it. It doesn't mean you can't be in their game planning with them, throwing ideas and stuff like that. But I think it's time for Jimbo to kind of take a step back more of as a CEO, let his coaches coach, let them evolve. I think that's the next step for A&M because, I mean, they're going to have a roster that has talented enough players.
It's so tough to call plays and be the head coach at the same time.
It's very tough.
We talked about it yesterday with Cliff Kingsbury with the Cardinals. It's so difficult to do that. Some guys can do it. Some guys can pull it off at least for a certain amount of time. But just you guys know the amount of time it takes to go in and game plan for an opponent. And then you also have to be the head coach on top of that. That's a tall task.
Yeah. I want to give a compliment to the hardcore guy. I guess that, like, we don't really have super strong accents. Like, I lived in the South my whole life. I never lived, I mean, we were in Green Bay when I was, when I was with the Packers. I was like 2 or 3 years old. But, like, I think the reason I don't have an accent is because I grew up in a house, like, my mother's from Wisconsin. My father was born in St. Louis. Now, they had moved to the South and lived there for a while. But what's crazy is my father didn't have an accent. My mother didn't have an accent. I don't really have an accent. He doesn't really have an accent.
Y'all really don't.
It's like, it's just... We just don't.
So my thing is, a lot of people thought when I went to school at Michigan, because I'm from South Georgia, I went to school at Michigan, oh, that's where you lost your accent. Maybe it happened a little bit, but I started singing right after that. Like I started playing guitar and started singing, and it wasn't really country music as much as it was like, more pop type music. So that's really where my accent started going away.
Really?
But look,
now, if I get back around my buddies,
that's the thing. That you always
like
know that. You're back around your friends.
It reverts back very, very quickly.
And it's not. You're not conscious about it.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to do it.
No,
that's just what happens.
It's just, I'm there talking.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with a peanut field on one side, a cotton field on the other side. We had chitlins twice a month. I mean, I'm not perfect.
That's a good start. Is that a country song?
Huh?
That sounds 100% like a country song.
We should write a country song.
We should write it.
Oh, there's already one written out there.
Oh, for sure. About a peanut field, a cotton field, and eating chitlins 2 days a week.
Yeah.
That sounds
got to be a George Strait song.
That's that's a #1 hit.
Let's go to Caleb Rodone. He says, I love it right now. LeBron sucks. Tom Brady isn't winning. Alabama lost 2 games. It's a great time. Right?
Who said that?
Caleb Rendon.
Who's your team, Caleb?
Yeah, who's your team, Caleb? Let us know. You'll love to see it.
Let's go back to hardcore DIY. If Saban doesn't deliver at least the SEC championship next year, I think his seat will be getting warm. There's no way.
Well, see, like let's go. He's deciding when he's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay. When you take the Titanic out from the depths and lift it back up above the water and refurbish it and put Leo DiCaprio in a suit with Kate Winslet in a big ballroom and Billy Zane being an ass to everybody, you let that person be the captain of the ship. Nick Saban, there's no seat getting warm. There's no, hey, we need to kind of push Nick out to pasture. Nick Saban decides when Nick Saban's done coaching Alabama. He resurrected the program.
You want to hear the craziest part? We're talking about next year. It is not impossible. It's not impossible for this guy to win the SEC this season.
No,
you're going to tell me that LSU couldn't go on the road and lose to Arkansas and Texas A&M? Not likely to happen.
Crap game.
They could certainly do it, though. I think Alabama's what's the spread right now this weekend at Ole Miss?
It's 11.
11.
It's Alabama minus 11?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, favored. It's not impossible.
Well, okay, so Bama lost to Tennessee and I'm going to lose my mind. LSU.
Yeah.
If Bama beats Ole Miss lost to LSU and now they lose to Bama. Okay, and if LSU loses one of Arkansas and A&M, okay, LSU I believe still goes with 2 SEC losses
because now they have that head-to-head.
They'd have to lose to Arkansas and A&M,
and they have UAB in the middle of all.
And they got UAB in the middle,
which is not a conference game. That's not a conference game, so it wouldn't play into that.
So you'd have to lose both. LSU would have to lose 2 games,
which is not likely.
Which is not likely,
but not impossible. And then all of a sudden, you're talking about a 2-loss Alabama team in the SEC championship, which certainly I think Tennessee, well, Georgia would certainly be favored at this point, maybe even Tennessee in the rematch. But like I said to David Pollack when he came on, I don't care how bad Alabama is in any given season. You don't want to see Nick Saban on the other sideline game planning in a revenge game against you with the reigning Heisman Trophy winner.
You know what would be the worst? You know what would be the worst is if you finish like it goes to the 12-team playoff. And you finish first, like, oh, great season, guys. And Bama finishes 12th.
Yeah.
And you get the bye, but then you got to play Bama in the second
round. You know who
round.
would do that? You know who that would happen to?
Michigan.
That happened to Michigan.
For sure. That's exactly right.
All right, let's go to Connor. Ron says, when does the paintball shooting occur? What do you think of that?
Who
what
said
day?
that?
Connor.
Connor, we're having a nice Wednesday, man.
How's your back
nice
feeling?
Little Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, I told Darby Lou, I said, what if Blaine shoots me in the back with a paintball gun and my back gets better?
You're welcome.
Like,
tell them where it hurts. What is it going to do? Get worse?
Exactly.
Like, point out, you ought to draw little X's on where it hurts. And look, you can have Blaine walk up.
I think Blaine's the type. No, there's going to be no point blank. Blaine's the type that would just say, oh, that's where you want it, and then
hit you
on the other side.
Now you're even.
The back of the calf. Let's go to Ethan Williams. Says the difference is that Bama hasn't struggled and had as many close games as they've had in the last 2 seasons. A win is a win, but you don't see Saban teams struggle like this until recently.
Yeah, they're beating themselves. It was like I was talking about, in the Open. That's just, it's weird seeing it because we've watched Alabama. We've watched other teams implode while Alabama with the best players stayed just like this.
And it's good for college football. The rest of these universities have seen the template and they've said, well, we want to be great too. And they've done what's necessary to be great.
Well,
and now you see them climbing
half
the
of
ladder.
them coached under Saban.
That's
they're
my
like,
point.
They're like, wait, this is it. This is it? Like this is it's like Colonel Sanders called him in and like, hey, everybody come in here. I'm gonna give you a list. These special blends and herbs and spices. You go start your own little KFC somewhere. You take this chicken recipe and you let it live on.
And then you have Popeyes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's giving out the secret recipe, the secret blends of herbs and spices.
All right, Kyle Jenkins, #Ask Jake. Has your replacement for Saban changed this year? And if so, who will he pick?
I still think Bill O'Brien's got a really good chance to get it. And Alabama fans will laugh, and they'll say, no way, there's no way in hell. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter what y'all think. It matters what Nick Saban thinks. Nick Saban's picking his predecessor. That's why, like, if y'all think that Nick is going to pick Lane,
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen. I don't think people understand that relationship.
Wouldn't even let him coach in the championship.
I don't think people really understand. There's not a lot of love there, okay? And then Lane tweets out the picture of Nick Saban's book about like leadership.
Oh, Lane's a Twitter
Lane
savant.
is an absolute under the bridge troll, and I'm so here for it.
Yeah.
But Bill O'Brien, though.
Bill O'Brien.
I think they should hire Brian Hartson, to be honest. I think you pick up the phone. Who you gonna call? Call Brian Hartson.
Yeah.
Fix it. He'll fix it, guys. What do you mean? Let's go to Michael Hodgfelder, $2 donation.
Thank you, Mike. Remember, donations question gets read first.
Brother. Says, please give a deep analysis of the University of Florida Texas A&M game, fellas.
Deep analysis. It's probably going to be sloppy, not a lot of scoring. No, in actuality, you watching that game, I was surprised by the amount of offense that we saw from the jump. Anthony Richardson breaking a long run didn't surprise me, but it was the chunk plays across the board. Watching that game was like watching, a Pac-12 after dark game. It was up and down the field with two offenses that really I think they know who they want to be, but they've struggled to get there. We've seen Anthony Richardson go up and down. We've seen him have good games throwing. I think the games where Billy has utilized his legs the most are the games where they've had the most success. I get it. You don't want to go out there and run the Ferrari 100 miles per hour every game. You got to make it through the season. I totally understand that. But watch the difference in the games where Anthony Richardson has been used as a runner to open up the pass as opposed to sitting back in the pocket and try and pick people apart. Now, A&M had 19 players out, okay, with the flu or whatever the hell was going around there. That's a huge deal, okay? I don't care if there were 19 bad players. That still kills your depth on special teams if somebody goes down during the game and things like that. So we have to remember that. Florida played well enough to win, and they did. I was shocked at the points because both these offenses have been stagnant. They've been slow. They've been just very kind of methodical in what they've done, yet we were seeing big play and chunk play, big play and chunk play, big play, penalty, chunk play. I was very surprised at the pace and the amount of points in that game.
Florida rushed for 291.
If you'd have told me that Texas A&M and Florida would have scored more points combined than Tennessee and Georgia, I would have looked at you and laughed you out of the room.
That's how it works sometimes.
It's football.
That's how it works sometimes.
It's football.
And they rushed for 291. They won the time of possession 37 minutes to 22 minutes. Now, Florida did have twice as many penalties, but they were on the road. But yeah, 492 total yards of offense for the Gators.
Well, it just shows you again, when they're able to have balance on offense, that's how much of a weapon Anthony Richardson can be. It's just, he's weapon X when he's right.
All right, let's go to Killa Drone with a $5 donation.
Killa Drone.
Killa. He said, the chat is doubting Brian Ironstones Kelly. I will never doubt again. Never doubt.
The chat's doubting Brian Kelly right now?
I'm guessing. Maybe earlier.
Well, look, I don't know why you would doubt him right now. I mean, all he's done is come in. And the biggest thing he's done at LSU, it's not even just the wins. It's they're improving throughout the season. They're getting better and better and better. And something that'll help you get better and better and better is if you take 5 minutes today, just 5. So really simple, guys. Really simple. 5 minutes. Much as a cup of coffee in the time, money continuum comparison. Go to epicwill.com, use our promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, and you'll save 10% on Epic Will's complete will package. It's epicwill.com. Use promo code BOOSTER. Cone, you're a family man. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. I got to remember to take the trash out, feed the animals, do all the stuff I'm supposed to do. Got my oil change the other day. Pretty excited about that.
Did you?
But we don't think about stuff like wills and what's going to happen to you if something happens to you. You don't want to have your stuff left to the state. I don't want the state making decisions for my family. I want to make decisions on my family, whether I'm here or not, and a will is the way to do it.
Especially when the precaution that I could take if something happens to me takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, it takes 10 minutes to do this, and your family is set up just in case something were to happen to you. Your family's taken care of rather than the state taking care of them. To me, it's a no-brainer.
Without a doubt. Blaine, you're an Epic guy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, like, especially right now, you really don't know what's going to happen in the world. So get this done, get it done early, don't wait. I mean, don't procrastinate on this because you never know.
Yeah, if you're in New York, you better get it done now. Especially
I guess they enjoy crime there.
Yeah, you better enjoy it. All right, so very excited to bring on our guest. Normally we have him on Tuesday. We have him on Wednesday. We like to mix it up a little bit, keep the body and the mind guessing. Our friend, Big Game Boomer, rocking the Louisville pullover today. Boom, what's up?
What's up, man? How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Little Maction last night. It's funny. Everybody's talking about, the political results. I woke up this morning like, did you see the touchdown catch by Ohio versus Miami, Ohio last night? Nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. But no, I'm doing well. How are you doing, man? You're looking chipper this morning.
Doing good, man. I'm just, it's November. We're talking football. I mean, life is good right now. It's a fun time of the year.
It's the best time of the year. You just had the World Series conclude. We really enjoyed that. You got college football. You got NFL. College basketball just started. NHL's out there. The NBA guys aren't playing hard yet, but it's still fun to watch John Morant dunk and do stuff like that. And then, look, the World Cup, November 22nd. I believe.
The World
I don't know
Cup?
about y'all. I believe.
That's the one.
In what?
That's the one you kicked?
Yeah,
And what do you believe in?
It's that game. Huh?
What do you believe in?
Look, I believe that we will win.
Win what? The World Cup?
If they listen to me.
Okay.
is if we use the plan. But anyway, that's neither here
The
nor
plan will
there.
work this year?
No, not this year.
Okay.
It's going to take at least 10 years.
Okay.
Boomer, I'll tell you about my plan how the United States can win the World Cup some other time. But last night, the college football playoff rankings came out. Obviously, Georgia was number 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4, Tennessee 5, Oregon 6, LSU 7, USC 8, Bama 9, and Clemson 10. You can catch the rest. So we decided, and this was your idea. This is a hell of an idea. The 3 biggest snubs last night when it comes to the college football playoff rankings. Boom, I see your 3. Explain away, my friend.
All right, let's go. So number 3 is South Carolina. I don't think South Carolina is a top 25 football team, but when I saw Kentucky in the rankings last night, I was like, what are these guys thinking? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Kentucky beating, hanging on and beating Mizzou gets them in the top 25. I don't think so. South Carolina beat Kentucky in Lexington. I think that if you're going to rank Kentucky, you should probably rank South Carolina. So that's my 3rd. 2 is Liberty, which is maybe the biggest snub of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I think they're the only team in the top that's in the coaches poll and the AP top 25 that's not in the college football playoff rankings. I mean, you literally just beat Arkansas, almost beat Wake Forest. I mean, Liberty is a good football team. I know you're big on Hugh Freeze. He's a great coach. I think extremely disrespectful they're not in the top 25.
Yeah, they're the Rodney Dangerfield. They're the Rodney Dangerfield of college football. Even when I made 1, I get no respect.
No respect. They'll play anybody tough. It's impressive what Freeze has done. Then I've got UCLA at 1 here. I know that they're ranked fairly high, but having USC ranked above them, to me, I think it's a little bit of a snub, a little disrespectful because, UCLA kind of manhandled Utah when they played. And then that team that lost to Utah is ranked ahead of them. Mm-hmm. I don't know. In my opinion, I think that UCLA should probably be ranked higher.
Yeah, I love that. I agree with you. I think Liberty is a huge snub. The South Carolina was interesting. I didn't expect that, but I can see what you're saying. I can see your line of thinking. Here's our 3. 1 is Michigan. Here's what I okay.
Cone made this list.
I did not.
No, he did not. Cone wants nothing to do with complimenting Michigan or jinxing them in any way. So he would love for Ohio State to be up there 3 times. Basically.
Put Michigan 15.
The reason that I thought, why is Ohio State in front of Michigan? Like, I know they started out in front of them. I know that they've won every game by double digits. But when you're looking at the eye test and you're looking at identity and you're looking at consistently, I feel like Michigan has proven that they are a better team of who they want to be. I know J.J. McCarthy's got to come along a little bit, and this is splitting hairs, and I know they're both going to play each other, but I feel like Michigan should be above Ohio State. I just feel like they have shown it is a better product on the field. I wonder if we didn't do the preseason polls and we did polls that came out week 3 or week 4, if Ohio State would still have been ahead of Michigan. I know Michigan's schedule hasn't been great either, okay, when you look at both of them. But watching the way that Ohio State has struggled with some teams and watching the way that Michigan just billy clubs everybody that they play, speaking of the subway in New York, it surprised me a little bit that Michigan is not getting more love. We are totally with you on the UCLA one, 100% with you on that. Good thing is UCLA and USC are both going to get to play each other. I question why UCLA is behind Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's a good one too.
Look, I know Notre Dame is salty, but when you look at you say you went on the road and lost a tough game to Oregon where they recovered a surprise onside kick, whose only loss is the drubbing they took against Georgia, and they look like one of the best teams in the country. Bo Nix is looking like a Heisman candidate, and that's not actually a joke. And you're 3 notches behind Clemson. I don't get that. And then the third one, Ole Miss, it's the same argument. Explain to me how the hell Ole Miss, whose only loss is on the road at the number 7 ranked team in the college football playoff. I'm not going by my rankings. I'm going by y'all's. Their only loss is on the road to the number 7 team in the college football playoff rankings. Yet, they're behind Clemson, who lost to Notre Dame, a 2-loss Alabama team, USC, who lost to Utah, who's ranked what? 13th in your own college football playoff. So, and then USC at 8-1. I get Ole Miss's first 5 or 6 games wasn't great, but if you're going to go off of your own rankings. If you're going to put LSU at 7, how in God's name is Ole Miss at 11 behind a 2-loss team, USC and Clemson? I don't understand that.
They'll have a chance this weekend.
Yeah, you got a chance this weekend, but again, I'm trying to find the theorem or the formula, or is it A squared plus B squared?
There is no formula.
Plus
That's
C
the problem.
squared equals D. Like, I think they just go in there and they're like, all right. They're like, how can we piss off everyone, but also make them happy at the same time? Like, it just, I can't find a theorem or some sort of formula for how this works. Like, it doesn't, I'm looking at it, doesn't make sense. It absolutely doesn't make sense. And I know it'll get played out in the field, but there was some stuff last night in the rankings I just don't get.
Yeah, I mean, historically, a lot of it has to do with the logo on the helmet more than the play on the field. I mean, Ohio State, you watch them play Northwestern, I don't care about the weather. You should be able to run it, manhandle Northwestern. You've got 5 stars. Northwestern has 1 2-star guys walk-ons.
How many NFL guys are on Northwestern's team? Total. What, 2?
Yeah.
Maybe 3? I know they got an
lineman.
offensive lineman that's a big-time player. But how many are on Ohio State? I don't know. All of them?
Yeah.
Like, it's you legitimately, there is such a big talent gap in that game. And I know the weather, people will say it's a factor, but when you know they're going to run it, and I know you're going to run it, and you still can't stop it, I question Ohio State's physicality a little bit. I really actually do.
What do you say, Boomer?
They're not, I think Ohio State is not a physical football team. They look soft. They look almost worse than last year. I don't think the offense is as good with the receiver play. I mean, they've still got some good guys, but Michigan is, I know I rag on them all the time, but Michigan, I think we're going to have the same result as last year in the game when those two play. I just think Ohio State is not right now the number 2 team in the country. It's just, it has to do because they're the Ohio State Buckeyes, that they get the benefit of the doubt, which we can all argue with and disagree with. But when it comes down to it, it's the logo on the helmet that keeps them high up there.
Yeah, and that's not saying that Ohio State can't figure it out and turn it. When you have that much talent, like at some point, you figure it out and turn it on, but we're getting toward the end of the year where you need to start peaking, right? We're seeing teams that are starting to peak. You look at LSU's and teams like that, teams that are starting to go down the drain.
Well, with the logo on the helmet, that's a good argument against, say, Cincinnati from last year, right? I mean, when you're talking about the Buckeyes and you're talking about the Wolverines, the brands are right there neck and neck. I think one of the things, Boomer, in this situation is that the Buckeyes do such a great job of drumming everyone in September and October. This is what we've been talking. We've been talking about the weather a lot when it comes to this team right here. And you saw it at play against Northwestern. You saw it at play in the game against Michigan last season. They're just beating people to death in September and October, running the score up. And I think that sticks in the minds of the playoff committee. And say what you will about the Buckeyes right now, but they've still won every game by double-digit points. That is quite a feat.
That's what I'm saying. The Ohio State-Michigan gripe that we had is very splitting hairs. The Ole Miss one, to me, is not splitting hairs.
No, and I love the Liberty pick.
Yeah, that's a great
because the committee already proven that they'll rank Tulane.
Your only loss is by 1 point on the road at Wake Forest?
Yeah. And Tulane's up at 17, 18. Tulane's 17 right now. So they'll clearly put teams with 1 loss like that up there. Where is Liberty?
Yeah, Tulane lost to Southern Miss.
Yeah.
Wake Forest would beat Southern Miss to death. They'd have to get the guys from the first 48 to go find out who did it. Oh, surprise, guess what? It just, at the end of the day, it's going to work itself out for the most part. It's just, again, I want to know the strategy behind how y'all do this. They can't give you a straight answer. Nobody can give you a straight answer. Like, well, it's a mixture of the eye test and strength of record, and we have a Ouija board and a wizard and a bunch of scientists with liquids and art paintings and stuff like that. It's just, I don't get it. It makes no sense. Blanye.
All right, BGB, what's up, my brother? Let's go to Dakota Blackburn. He wants to know, #AskBoomer, who's your most surprising team of the year and who's your most disappointing team of this year?
Most surprising, God, I would have to go, it was Illinois, or Tennessee. I had Tennessee finishing second in the East, but the way their offense has just taken off, very, very good. Illinois, a lot of people picked them to finish last in the Big Ten West. I like the Illini, what Belimo's done. Disappointing, it's got to be Texas A&M. 3-6 now, and my God, We've said it before. Let's stop putting Texas A&M in the top 10 for preseason polls because they'll let you down.
Is Texas A&M kind of like the, and I don't have any kids yet, but when you're 16 and your family sits down at like some family meal and they let you sit at the adults table and maybe have a couple glasses of wine and you haven't been drunk before and you act a fool and then they make you go back to the kids table. Is that kind of the Texas A&M situation? Do they need to go back to the sparkling cider before we step back up to the real grape juice?
Yeah. No, they're like absolutely. Billy they're bad. They're bad, man.
Well, Lucci, I'll probably have a text right on my phone after the show.
Hey,
kids table, huh?
Kids table.
Kids table.
Boomer, I want to ask you about North Carolina. I mean, this is a team early in the season that held on to win against Appalachian State, held on to win against Georgia State. Their defense is not good at all, but they maybe have one of the best football players in the country with Drake May. They're going to play at Wake Forest this weekend. Wake has committed, 11 turnovers in the past 2 games? There's only 4 quarters in a game, Boomer. 11 turnovers in the past 2 games. They're still going to have NC State too, which NC State maybe hasn't lived up to the expectation that we kind of had for them. It's still a 2-loss team though. So if Wake Forest runs that table, if North Carolina, runs that table, finds himself in the ACC championship, I mean, what is the ceiling for this team right now with Drake May at quarterback?
Well, I think the ceiling is going 11-1 and 12-1 and beating Clemson in the ACC championship. I mean,
that's wild.
UNC has been extremely impressive. Drake May, I think he's got the most touchdown passes in college football.
He's a witch.
31
he's the lanky witch.
Yeah, I mean, he is a straight up stud. That offense is great. Phil Longo, they're dialing it up right now. Their defense is not good. I mean, you saw App State put up like 40 points in 1 quarter.
It was ridiculous.
In the 4th, yeah.
Believe me, I had North Carolina money line. I was sweating like a fat kid at a decathlon.
Yeah, but I mean, if they win all their games and beat Clemson, I mean, they're going to be right there. But I think the committee is kind of has a negative kind of bias against the ACC. So I think it's going to be tough for a 1-loss UNC team to get into the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
It is. They need chaos. You need TCU to lose. I mean, I wonder if it's almost one of those things where, North Carolina, because I don't think Clemson's going to lose again until they possibly play North Carolina. If North Carolina is able to run the gauntlet, you beat Wake, you beat NC State, 2 ranked teams, I believe. And then you finish off Clemson there, who's going to be in the top 8, probably maybe even top 6. That's a pretty good win to bolster yourself into the playoff. Like if TCU loses to Texas and then wins the Big 12 championship, I don't know if their resume is going to be as good as North Carolina's, honestly.
What was the first team you said?
If TCU loses to Texas and then
wins out
and wins the Big 12, and North Carolina wins out by beating 3 ranked teams plus a top maybe 5 team, hard to argue against.
You might be right, especially if they have the Heisman front runner. Because that's what it's looking like he could be.
Very important.
Yeah,
all right, Blondier,
he's fun to watch.
He's
a fun quarterback to watch.
All right, let's go to Malcolm Martin. He wants to know which Power 5 conference will not win a championship in the next decade.
Oh, this is easy.
I mean, Pac-12?
Yeah.
Pac-12 or ACC?
Would be my UCLA and USC
I don't think Dan Lanning's going to pull one down in Oregon the next decade.
No, I don't think Dan Lanning will be at Oregon after the next 3 years.
Hey,
where's he going to be?
I have to say.
Really?
Where's he going to be? No. Where's he going to be, Jay?
No.
Where's he? Yeah, you do. No one smiles like that and says, I don't know.
Do you have some insider info? Are you insider trading live on TV?
Insider info.
What is it?
I'm not Martha Stewart in this thing.
What is it?
Wow.
No, I'm not. Look,
why won't you say anything?
Just trust me.
Don't do that.
Bishop Sycamore.
Shoot him with the paintball gun.
Don't do that.
No, first off, after I had to do the 1-chip challenge and all that other just absolutely evil stuff that I went through, I'm not taking the paintball.
Boomer, I have to get shot in the back with a paintball gun 5 times for losing in fantasy football. How do you feel about that?
Against who, David?
That's going to be brutal, man. Wear a couple
a lot of surface area in that long body. That
wear
long
a couple
6'7"
jackets. I don't
body.
think that's an option. You can tribute swap. What do they call it in Hunger Games?
Volunteers tribute.
You can volunteer tribute for me if you'd like.
Man, I'm going to stay away from that. I'm not going to come down to Nashville. I'll stay in Oklahoma. I don't want any of that.
Yeah,
paintballs can reach to Oklahoma.
Yeah, believe me. I'll aim it in the sky. I'll just go off the North Star and just feel out where you're at. But no, Boomer, we appreciate it, my friend. It's always great stuff. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yep, just follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Big Game Boomer. Like I said, we're just doing lists and rankings and content all season long.
watching football, doing lists, and having fun. Yeah, it's an amazing life.
Living the dream.
It's a wonderful life. We'll have that Instagram collab later as well. Appreciate you, Boom.
All right, fellas, y'all take it easy.
Definitely. Blanye, back to the Booster Club before we get to our rapid fire.
I saw something in the Daily Wire chat that was hilarious and true. It was from Lil Tony.
Lil Tony.
Tony 22, Lil Tony. He says, if Iowa puts up 14-plus points on a team, Ohio State should be able to play them in a hurricane inside of a volcano and still put up 50.
Look, I'm 100% with 100% right. I'm 100% with you on that. That is sound logic. That is sound logic. Because Iowa's got that Etch-a-Sketch offense. It didn't work. What do we do this time?
Don't worry. They'll show up against Michigan. Oh, for sure.
You
know how it's going to work.
10-7.
Yeah.
Blake Corum runs for 500 yards and they scored 10 points.
I know.
We'll beat Iowa 10-7.
All right, Darby Lou Cone.
Darby Lou's in the chat.
Can we please just shoot Blaine in the back with a paintball gun?
Yeah.
He's young and does not have to pick up children on a daily basis.
Cone is young and Blaine picks up a lot of children. That's actually, he's past that point in his life.
Whoa. What?
I don't even know. I'm not even going to respond to that.
Oh, that was such a
Have you ever had to go door to door and explain your situation to anyone? You know, have you been
What
forced
is going on?
Continue with
Now the suits are messed up.
Yes.
Like,
onions, huh?
But no, I'm not getting shot in the back. Your husband lost a bet in fantasy, Darby.
Cone's young. Look at this guy.
What am I, an old man or
He's
something?
young,
What, I come in here and tell
strapping?
people to get off my lawn or something?
That's exactly right. What a segue. What a
you ready for
segue. Let's go ahead and segue into this bad boy.
I have to tell
We'll get into the
someone
All
today.
Sports Rapid Fire, but I can't let a beautiful segue like that go to waste. It's like watching a flower die. All right, obviously every Wednesday, one of our fans' favorite segments and my personal favorite is where our 34-year-old / 134-year-old David Cone tells some of these youngins that he doesn't like the way they're acting to get off his lawn. David, who are you exposing today?
Josh Primo, Greg Popovich. You know what? The entire Spurs organization, get off my lawn.
Gerber.
Reports surfaced recently that Spurs shooting guard Josh Primo, the number 12 pick out of Alabama, was released by the organization for allegedly exposing himself to the team psychologist 9 different times. Now, I know what Spurs fans in the chat are saying. Hey, we like a player with no quit in him. But 9 times? I don't even know if Primo took that many shots in a game. And when the doctor informed executives of the harassment, her claims were ignored for months, and then her role was eliminated. Primo's attorney had a plethora of excuses for his client's behavior, such as wardrobe malfunction, past trauma, mental health, racial bias. Look, as someone who attempted many variations of the dog ate my homework excuse, I applaud the effort there. But unfortunately, I believe the naked truth shall surface. And speaking of exposure, where is Greg Popovich? Very few head coaches jump at the opportunity to opine on social justice issues quicker than Pop. Gun control, police shootings, saying he's embarrassed to be white. There's no topic too controversial for Coach Popovich. He even stated in 2020, we can't let anything go. We have to speak. Fast forward to this scandal brewing from within his own organization, and what does he say? This is in the hands of the lawyers now, so I can't go there. Man, we went from we have to speak to I can't go there faster than from tip-off to the first hack-a-shack foul. Now, make no mistake, Coach Popovich will still be remembered as one of the greatest NBA coaches of all time with 5 championships. And Josh Primo will likely play pro ball again elsewhere. I'm sure the Cleveland Browns are writing up a guaranteed contract as we speak. I had to get a Deshaun Watson joke in. But this is a great reminder that we should all heed the advice of Dr. Jordan Peterson. Clean up your own room before you attempt to clean up the entire world. And that room is awfully messy right now. And since I'd like to practice what I preach and keep my own house in order, I'm telling everyone involved in this, how should I put it, revealing situation to get off my lawn.
Very
Yes,
nice.
sir, Cody.
Very nice, David. Yeah, this whole situation's weird to me. I don't understand this.
Well, I just
Exposing yourself just 9 times?
What's Primo, 2 guard?
9 times?
Look, shoot or shoot, man.
Ugh.
Never a bad shot.
9
That's what I'm saying. He hadn't even shot that many times
Never a
in
bad
the game.
shot.
Yeah.
I just hope we uncover the truth.
Yeah, well, look.
Yeah, I hope it all just we just let it all hangs out. you know?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to stand up and show yourself.
Well,
Right?
if they're
I think you just did that.
okay, yeah.
I think you just
You
did
know.
that. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
All right, let's get into a little rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Hey,
What a
hey.
segue.
Jerry Jones. Hold on. You want me to hit a button?
Yeah, go ahead and hit
First of
that.
all, Let me hit a button. Jerry
Daily
Jones
double.
says Odell Beckham Jr. would look good in cowboy blue.
I bet, look, there's some people that's questioning OBJ coming off the ACL injury. Look, this dude was put together in a laboratory by 3 scientists and an alien from a different star cluster. If he goes to the Cowboys, and you, number one, if I'm the Packers, how am I not giving him half of the meat in Green Bay?
The Packers.
Well, like to come save us. Like if literally like they're like stranded in the ocean on a boat and like a freight goes by and the captain's like, hey, you need some help? He's like, no, that's a long way to climb up there to get in that boat, man. I'll just wait on the next
Aaron
one.
Rodgers is slowly turning into Tom Hanks. On that
I
island.
agree.
Castaway. He's growing a beard out, just screaming. I'm sure he's talking to volleyballs or basketballs.
He always plays with a
or-
Wilson ball.
Yeah, so like he's slow, like you can
turning
see
into
him
Tom Hanks
turn
from
into Tom
Castaway.
Hanks from Castaway,
That's pretty good.
and no one's helping him.
I have to
come over
say,
there
after
right
this
now.
past
That's pretty
week,
good.
this past week with the 3 picks against the Lions, those were on him.
Okay,
Those were on him. I mean, this guy never takes responsibility for his own mistakes or his own actions. It's always someone else's fault with Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
It's always, the guys
I
don't
think
play good.
there's-
We need to limit some reps. Those interceptions were on him.
Those picks were the reason that they're
Let's go
trash
through the
is
season.
not Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, it's
Just imagine if Aaron Rodgers wasn't the quarterback. Dude, have the Packers
They'd
won a
probably
game?
that's how it would probably work. I saw the Carolina Panthers
Here
somehow
we
beat
go.
Tom Brady with PJ Walker. Like, what is going on in the multiverse right now? The NFL would probably rig it up some situation when all the plus money goes on, whoever the Packers are playing, and then the Packers.
There's a
would win.
disturbance in the force right now.
Go
There's
the
a
Raiders,
disturbance
Aaron.
in
There's
the
a
betting
disturbance in the
force.
force. T-Bob would love that
NFL.
reference. I do want to say this about the Cowboys. If he goes out there with CeeDee Lamb, you have the sneakiest tight end in football in Dalton Schultz. Nobody talks about him enough. Zeke, that knee's getting a little bit better, but Tony Pollard being there is a godsend for Zeke. It makes him even better. Michael Gallup, healthy again. You add OBJ, who at worst is a legitimate decoy. That's going to help out Dak that much more, and I think Dak needs all the help he can get, especially once he gets to the playoffs. But nothing would shock me with the money that Jerry Jones and them have and the way they operate, and them being, 6-2 right now? Something like that. They want to go all in. They can smell it. They're feeling good. They're looking around. It's Cowboys, Eagles, same division, new phone, who dis. Would not shock me if OBJ went to the Cowboys and did really well. And
Well,
if you're OBJ, you're a mercenary for hire.
yeah. If you're the Cowboys,
You're
right
an
now,
NFL Super Bowl mercenary is what you are.
If you're the Cowboys right now, you have a Super Bowl defense.
You do.
Yes.
Your defense is
You do.
good enough to win the Super Bowl. So why not go? If you're ever going to push, if you're ever going to hit the gas pedal and scream America,
It's time.
right now is the time. Go get Odell. He'll be a true number 2 with CeeDee Lamb being your number 1. And you got playmakers all over the field. And with that defense, you'll be in any game.
And you don't need the Odell Beckham Jr. to
No.
catch to receive for 1,500 yards in a season.
No.
You need the guy on 3rd and 6 against the Giants. You're down late and you're trying to make a playoff push to catch that slant route or the fade ball and not drop it.
Exactly.
That's the Odell Beckham Jr. you need. Josh Allen, a little bit of an elbow injury there. How's this
Yeah.
going to affect the Bills?
Yeah, look, you see UCL in baseball all the time. I mean, this is something that you monitor, just like the shoulder, you monitor the elbow. Look, when it comes to Josh Allen, and he is a huge person, and we talk about it, and I'm not saying his elbow injury is from the hits that he's taken. When you throw that many times, when you use that many that arm action, the arm is not meant to do this when you throw something. The arm is really meant to throw it underhand. That's why softball pitchers can throw 8 games in a row and throw 120 pitches in each game and be fine. Overhand is just not natural for your shoulder or your elbow. So over time, you're going to have these problems. I'm not as worried about Josh Allen's elbow as I'm worried about him going the way of Cam Newton eventually. Cam Newton was humongous. Now, Josh is a better thrower, I think, than Cam is. Not by a lot. Not by a lot. And I think Josh has improved more as a passer since he's been in the league than what Cam did. But remember, Cam was a giant coming into the NFL. Heisman winner, national championship winner, number 1 overall pick. He ran it like Josh Allen runs it, to be honest with you. Very physical and a lot. And Cam wasn't really able to sustain it for a very long time. He had the run to the Super Bowl. They had that one big year. I worry as Josh Allen progresses in his career. That's why when everybody was talking about getting Nyheim Hines, how great it was for the offense, I was like, well, it's great for the offense, and Josh Allen's on the offense, but I think this is a great move for Josh Allen's career because Nyheim Hines is going to take some of those hits away. Nyheim Hines coming out of the backfield, catching the ball, is going to keep Josh Allen from running and escaping up through the pocket sometimes because he doesn't trust the back out in the flat. So I think Josh Allen, whether it's elbow, whether it's shoulder, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, whatever it is, has to be smarter, in my opinion, than what Cam Newton was.
I mean, we all want to see Josh Allen have a long career. Like, I want to watch this dude as long as I can.
Yeah.
And hits add up. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're on 7-footer island, which I own. All right. Or if you're Derrick Henry. All right. It's going to add up sooner or later. I want to see him play as long as he can. I'm pretty sure he's going to play through this elbow injury. He'll probably end up suiting up Sunday, just knowing how Josh Allen is. Josh Allen's a tough SOB, man. You can just tell by the way he plays. But Josh, man, you got these things add up. You're not invincible, my guy. You're not.
And he seems like such a cool cat.
Yeah.
Like, I've never talked to Josh, but he seems like a really, really cool cat. And if I'm playing, I forgot who the Bills have this weekend, but if I'm playing the Bills, that's secondary. I hear UCL injury. We're walking on down, fellas. You want to throw it deep 20 times? You believe in it that much? How bad do you want to win this game? How bad
The
does
Bills play.
We're going to find out how many times you want to throw it deep.
The Bills play Minnesota.
Ooh.
Yeah, because we were breaking down the
I'm
Vikings
Harrison
schedule.
Smith. I'm coming on down. It's like they called me on The Price is Right. You come on down. You sit up here and guess how much this table
And that
costs.
game's at 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock nightmare Kirk Cousins is going to be playing.
Yeah.
Kirk is nice at 12.
Look,
You put him at 325, disaster.
does anybody wake up probably better than Kirk Cousins? Probably wakes up super rich. He's probably like unbelievably organized. He's got like, Kirk probably sleeps with one of those eye things over him, which I don't trust.
I do,
I
too.
never
I
put,
sleep with
see,
one.
I just could not trust.
Never did it. Started doing it recently because Darby Lou likes to keep the TV on at night when I
do,
fall
too.
asleep. So I started doing it. I'm now it's a part of the routine.
I just don't, that's why I don't wear sunglasses. I like being able to see
You can't see out of sunglasses?
not as well as I can without them.
I see fine.
Interesting. I have never seen you with sunglasses.
No, I don't like having stuff
I've
in
seen
my
you wear
eyes.
sunglasses. Well, I'm your brother, so I guess.
Yeah, you've known me for 33 years.
What age did that start? Like, you not?
When I think 14 or 15.
That's weird.
Like, no, it's not weird. I like using my
Not
eyes.
young.
Look, I got this 1520 Eagle Hawk Vision. I'm going to use it.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see what's going on in the control
Wait,
right now.
1520.
Justine,
No, that's
put the
not
coffee
good.
down.
That's not
No,
good.
no, that's not good.
not
You
good.
mean 2015.
What did I say?
You said 1520.
You don't know what I meant. 2015. I didn't say my
I
mind.
mean, I deduced it, but I don't know. I didn't
Hold
know
on.
it. Are you seeing through me?
yeah, I'm looking at the.
Well, then what am I saying next then? What's next on rapid fire?
Hold on. Xavier McKinney?
Xavier McKinney. Yes.
What's going on with Xavier McKinney?
Okay, he got hurt in an ATV accident during the season. Here's my thing, okay? And this goes back to what I said about Fernando Tatis when he got hurt on the motorcycle. If you're going to pay me this amount of money, or if I'm going to pay you this amount of money, there's some things you're not doing. Riding a four-wheeler during the season when you're a starting DB, you're not doing it. Riding a razor scooter, or going skydiving, or bungee jumping, there's some stuff you can't do. And this is one of the Giants are right in the thick of it, having a year they never believed. Like I said, Brian Daboll's the most popular fat guy in New York since Biggie. And you go out and get hurt on a four-wheeler, and if I'm the one that's making as much money as these guys, okay, I'm totally willing to sacrifice that. I'm totally willing to sacrifice having to ride a four-wheeler so I can be a millionaire and wake up like I got it set up and used all the cheat codes in Grand Theft Auto. Go to the garage, got more whips and cars in there than a freaking sports car dealership. So I won't ride a four-wheeler. I won't even check the mail, man. I'll stay in the house the whole day, run on the treadmill, eat salad, and watch film. For that amount of money, I'll do it. Put a bubble suit on me, like Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie with little robotic arms I can stick my hands in for when I go outside. But four-wheelers, motorcycles, all this stuff, it's selfish. It's selfish to me. And people say, oh, well, they have the freedom to do what you want. Okay, then. I want my $25 million back. I swear, Cone, and if I ever gave a contract like that out, there'd be so many clauses of things you cannot do or I get all my money back plus interest for wasting my time on your ass.
He said this was a sightseeing tour in Cabo San Lucas on the bye week. And I thank God it wasn't anything worse. There wasn't, quote here, there wasn't anything reckless going on. It was a freak accident.
Oh, it was a freak accident on a four-wheeler. What happened? Did you run over an IED?
He was where?
In Cabo San
Cabo
Lucas?
St. Lucas, yeah.
Where is that? By
Mexico.
Narnia?
Mexico.
Yeah.
No one goes to Mexico to sightsee.
It was a
brother. You guys are
sightseeing
having
tour
fun.
on bye
No,
week, Blaine.
it was
You're in Cabo?
You were in sight to see how fast his ATV
Yeah.
could go.
That's exactly right.
That's about it.
It was a freak accident. I went off this ramp.
On his wheel. Yeah. Pop a wheelie, brother. I bet you were.
Oh, I bet it was a Papa Wheelie. How much fun
man.
Oh, it's just, I swear there'd be more clauses.
I'm pretty sure, like, well, the thing about it is, like, Kyler Murray has his clause, can't play too much Call of Duty, which the new Call of Duty does come out this month.
He's already playing bad anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm pretty sure Pat Mahomes, like, can't get close to a toaster or something. I don't know what it is. It's either that or, like, snowboarding.
Really?
Yeah, Pat was, like, a big snowboarder or something.
Yeah, they're like, never again.
They're like, you can't go outside.
Andy Reid, like, when they signed him, he's like, he sees him at the house, and he goes to the garage and gets his snowboard, and he's like,
it's like I guarantee he just has security around like the president. Like he walks into his garage, some guy's in there with the earpiece. He's like, oh, he's going for the lawnmower. He's like, sir, you want me to do that for you? Yeah.
It's like, sir,
sit in the house, please.
Yes.
Stop painting mustaches on him.
Yeah, it's exactly that commercial.
Look, Andy.
That's
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy's fun.
Brett Favre, man. Brett Favre. It sounds like another story here where a Favre-backed drug company overstated some benefits that he was involved with. What's Brett doing?
Look. I'm still reading up on this situation. I'm an innocent until proven guilty guy. The whole time I thought this was about Copperfit.
Copperfit.
I literally thought this was about Copperfit. And I used to think when I'd see those commercials and it's like Brett Favre and Jerry Rice out there just schooling a bunch of middle-aged men who aren't athletic at all. First off, y'all are getting murdered. I don't care how old Brett Favre and Jerry Rice is. But I'm like, what if this Copperfit stuff actually works? Why would I not just cover my whole body in it? Like just have like a Copperfit suit where you can only see my eyes, my nose, and my mouth. So like a round kind of effect. Wouldn't I just be unbelievably healthy? It's like when they tell you
CGI.
It's like when they tell you to get those bracelets, those cover bracelets. It's like it'll increase blood flow for $19.99. I promise it works.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the details on any of this stuff that Brett Favre's been involved with, but it doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like the type of guy who's out here maliciously running Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if you have a guy like. Here's my thing, when you have someone who's running a Ponzi scheme like Bernie Madoff, right, and other people invested their money because they believed that he was going to give them a high return on their investment, you never blame those people. Like, they got their money back. I don't know if this is that kind of situation or what happened with the welfare thing. It's not good.
Well, I just feel like Brett Favre, like part of me thinks like they had to beg Brett Favre to come back and play football to get him out of the woods. He showed up, I think, to the Jets in his hunting gear. Okay, I don't think this guy is going around to board meetings and he's like, guys, let me tell you about.
Let's see the quarterlies.
Tricopalex.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, how's you guys' knees and eyes feeling?
Yeah.
So
How about, it's like,
just
Brett,
like-
this is a pyramid scheme. It's like, no, it's not. As he slowly draws a pyramid.
Yeah, that's
like
the
on
Michael
the-
Scott.
On the office, he draws the pyramid
He
around
said,
it.
I have to make a call.
Part of me thinks, like, and again, look, we'll see when it comes out. It's a bad look, but again, I don't think he's up there in a suit and tie, you know, talking, the owners of some huge consultant firm about why they should put this drug. I think he's up there meeting with the big pharma guys about like some new drug.
To make some money.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think somebody told him like, hey, you want to be like part owner in this? He's like, sure,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Look,
Now
I
they
met
did
Brett
something
Favre
bad.
once, and I can already tell.
Oh, for sure.
It's not like he's in. Where's Brett? He's in the woods.
That's exactly. He's
Right.
hunting something.
He's in the woods.
Yeah, and it's not people to buy some healing ointment. I don't know. It just, to me, this is just a very interesting.
And then he takes a break occasionally to play some golf.
That's exactly right.
Great,
We
great
saw him
swing,
with
too.
very well.
Great
It's
swing.
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
The swing was going to be pure.
Yeah.
So the first Orthodox Jew was playing in the G League, right?
People should be worried.
Well, let me ask you this: do you find the timing of this at all interesting?
Oh, with all this going on with
Does
Kyrie?
it feel like the timing of it's interesting?
I don't know that much about this story.
So
Ryan Turrell?
Ryan Turrell, his first Orthodox Jew, was playing out there in the G League, which is obviously affiliated with the NBA, became the first NBA-affiliated Orthodox Jew to play. But what are the odds this happens right off of the Kyrie Irving situation?
Well, he is 22, so he's young, and it is the beginning of basketball season. I don't know, is it?
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying there's anything nefarious, but I know the NBA. And look, apparently from what you read on this guy, like he can really ball. Like so,
He's got skills?
yeah, oh yeah. And he's tall. He's
Let's see, I was about to look at
at the end of the day, and people say, oh, well, identity politics. Why does it really matter? Does it really matter? Like when you're talking about does it matter the most out of all things? No, but it's an interesting factoid along the way because we always talk about, the players in the NFL. There's not as many Hispanics or Asians or white guys, and you look in the NBA, and there's not a lot of Hispanics or Asians or white guys or Orthodox Jews. So it's interesting when you do see kind of a barrier being broken in that way when basketball in the NBA has been played for so long that this thing is actually getting broken.
Cool to see.
It's cool.
He's 6'7".
Yeah.
6'7"
Ryan Turrell
from LA.
Tree.
Ryan Terrell. I want his jersey.
Yeah.
Get his jersey.
That'd be a sweet.
I'd rock the
jersey.
jersey.
That'd be a sweet jersey for the studio. All right, Blaine. Let's actually hold on right there. If you want to watch the rest of this, remember you can listen if you stay here. Head over to Daily Wire Plus. Become a member. Listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast through your computer machine. Subscribe. Leave a 5-star review and share it with all your friends and the people you yelled at on social media last night because y'all need to make it right again. We'll be right back. Booster Club.
All right, let's go. First of all, we have a $2 donation from Rhino Caliendo.
Thank you, Rhino.
It says Brett throws the ball so far that he can definitely steal money from kids. Oh man! All right.
Man.
Stephen Brooks says, "What's up, guys? Big fan of the show. Grew up a Clemson fan. Just wanted to say to Flaming Dragon, you are my favorite on the show."
Oh,
Let's go, Steven.
Let's go.
Come on, babe. Let's get after it today.
Here we go.
Wow.
Keep
Don't
feeding
get me
his ego.
started in here.
Keep
all right?
feeding his ego.
Don't get me started.
Not even
all right?
Friday.
Like shoveling
Can we get a
coal in the
NASCAR
fire.
segment? Big NASCAR fan and love hockey. Go Canes.
Man, I've pulled the Ross Chastain clip so many times.
Oh, the one where he
talk
rode the
about.
wall to
Yeah.
the win?
Well,
we talked a little bit. We talked about Gibbs and him winning the Xfinity, and then his father obviously tragically passing away a couple hours later.
Joey Logano.
We actually got a cardboard cutout of Chase Elliott we need to put in.
Yeah, we
Shout
do.
out to
a lot of Chase
Hooters
Elliott
there.
fans in the chat, man.
Yeah, we need to get Chase on the show.
Is that?
Let me go
Who's
get
that?
the cutout?
Go get the
I
cutout.
can get
Go
the
get it.
cutout. I mean, if they're asking for
Cone
NASCAR.
is cutting out.
All right, let's go to Greg Natal. Says, remember when Radmovich lied about sleeping in his house to cover up a snowboarding injury? He was in breach of his contract, I believe. I respect it.
Yeah, again, no cameras in the house. Can you prove it? Look at this right here. We got this cardboard
Chase.
cutout of Chase Elliott. Yeah, still taller than you, dog.
I don't know.
Stand up.
Hey.
Oh, that's great. Here we go, guys.
Guess what? Hold on. Watch this, Gunny. Oh, man, I was going to do a Josh Primo joke.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, no. Oh,
Don't.
oh no.
Oh, also, here's your birthday gift, Jake.
Oh, thank you. All right, keep going, Booster Club, Blaine.
Let's go to Guy Olson.
What's up, Guy?
Gus Olson.
Gus.
God, come on, man. My bad.
That's that.
Finally in the chat, because I'm normally getting swole at the gym during your broadcast. Get your pump in, baby. I love that. Just want to say Blaine is my spirit animal. What's going on?
What's
Okay.
happening over
All
there?
right.
Come on.
What'd you
What
do?
is happening
Pump it
over
up.
there
What'd you
today?
do?
Pump it up.
I'm about to hop in the
I might not be
chat.
Jake Paul, but I will absolutely fight him. Gus, get your pump in. Look, we'll fight him together. Him
Yeah.
and his brother. Bring Logan, too.
Yeah.
We'll wipe the whole
Paul family.
squad.
Bring Chris, too.
We'll wipe the entire squad. All right, Texas Ed. Does a yarmulke have hair clips so it doesn't fall out? Saw the clip of the guy wearing his yarmulke during the game. It has to.
Yes.
There's no way it doesn't.
Yeah,
You're
I would
jumping.
think.
We talked to our boy Jacob.
Yeah, I know a guy we can ask, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Shapiro.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to. I feel like I'm missing things. I don't like that feeling. All right, let's go to Sean Pennison. # Crane and Company. Dumbest thing a pro athlete has done to lose a ton of money. It's the dumbest thing.
The dumbest thing?
Yeah.
Drink a bunch of lean, Jamarcus Russell.
I don't know. What did God, that's a good
Think
one.
about it. Think about it. We'll
Think
move on.
about that.
All
All right, let's go to Justin Decker, and he says, if I'm not mistaken, Jake used to wear sunglasses and eye black playing baseball at Opelika. You did wear Oakley's.
Yeah, when the sun was in my eyes. I mean, I'm
Man,
talking. Yeah.
Opelika guys in the chat today.
Yeah. Oh, look, O-Town represents. No, like when the sun was in my eyes, yeah, especially playing third with the way the field was set up. I mean, that was the only thing to shake because I didn't want to stare into the sun. That way I wouldn't have 2015 Eagle Hawk vision that I have now. But look, I'd go with the eye black for sure because you're trying to get the sun away from your eyes by having the eye black. It's just another scientific way of being able to see better.
All right, let's go to, I'm trying to get the Daily Wire chat in here involved. Motorcycles are a staple from Poison.alley. All right, it says motorcycles are a staple of manhood. How else will we know these guys are hardcore if they don't drive motorcycles?
It's like
I love it.
It's like that South Park episode where they make all the noise.
Oh, they can
Even when they're off
definitely
the
hear us
motorcycle?
now.
Yeah, they're in a restaurant.
They
Dude,
can definitely hear us now.
yeah, that's the thing.
Have you seen that episode?
Have you seen that? They're all in the,
about that
dude, they're all in the restaurant
Top
sitting down.
5
Like, hey,
episode.
people aren't looking at us. Like, hey, hold on.
Louder, boys, louder, boys. They can definitely hear us now. All right, let's go to Stephen Brooks with a $2 donation.
Steven.
Says, here's some Hooters on me, boys. Keep the woke out of sports. Ate Hooters the other day.
Yes.
15 Daytonas.
Who was that from?
Look,
Breaded.
Speaking of NASCAR,
Stephen Brooks.
Steven, thank you, Steven. Oh, did y'all know that I'm on the 1,000? That I'm doing a 1,000 wings challenge. Did I tell y'all about that? Since
In a year-
sent the cards. No, I just thought of this the other day when you and I we went to Hooters
we
to
talked
try
about
our
this. I remember talking
VIP
about
card,
this,
right? And then Darby Lou and I ordered some wings the other night. I'm gonna try and eat 1,000 Hooters wings in 1 year.
you just became enemy number one
Hey,
for chickens everywhere.
Can
You're
I join you on this voyage?
On the quest?
On the quest?
Oh,
Can we go to the quest
wagon
together?
is full. Let's go. Hop
Can we do a
on.
quest handshake where we grab each other's forearms?
right now?
Yeah.
Yaka
Let's do
hey?
it right now.
Let's make it epic.
Ready?
Oh, that's good.
That was awesome.
Challenge.
That's
That was
good.
awesome.
That
I
was a
felt
good
that.
I
one.
want you to know.
I'm proud of you guys. If you're on audio and you didn't see that, you got worse this week.
That was awesome.
1,000 wings in the next calendar year, and I put out a poll, and 29%. I said over under, and 29% of people doubted me, and I'm keeping those receipts.
Are you gonna just stay same flavor? Or are you gonna try and hit every flavor that Hooters has?
That is a good question because I almost said, should I eat 1,000 Daytona wings in the next year? And I thought, you know what?
That would ruin it.
That would
I would.
ruin it for
You
me.
know
I
what?
want to be
I
able to
think
switch
part
it
of the
up.
challenge has to be you have to eat every flavor of wing that they have.
Or you have to eat everything on the menu.
Well, if I can accomplish
I don't want to kill him.
if I can accomplish the 1,000 wings, I feel like I am gonna run through the entire menu.
You have to, right?
Right.
Is there a flavor you
Even
really
though I don't know, I
like?
don't get tired of the Daytonas, man. They're
Dude, I got 15. Look, I got the Tex-Mex nachos and 15 Daytona wings.
Hooters getting a great advertisement on this right
Yeah.
now. Look,
Yeah,
it's
they know me over there.
yeah, for sure.
They know me over there.
like, Mr. Crane, please. They got like a velvet rope. They're like,
No,
sit
it's like
down.
the same thing. I
Like,
was telling you
Jessica,
about
bring him
the
a
other
water
day.
now, please. Why am I waiting?
He's just like I was like with the card or something.
Pour
It's like
over
you have some like money in a stock or something like that.
What you're talking about? Like,
Yeah, I had some money in AMC when AMC was
The movie
popping,
theater?
something like $500 or something like that. So you would walk in the movie theater and you'd walk in like, "Hey, sir, this is Blaine. Look, the bathrooms really weren't up to quality, and the popcorn not buttery enough. So I have $500 worth of stock in that. I basically own this.
You're a part owner.
yeah,
you're
it's a part owner.
That's what
It's
you
a
are. Walking-
Packers
yeah.
situation.
All right, let's go to Cal Kenny says hashtag Ask Jake. If you don't wear sunglasses, how do you handle the morning after a little too many cold sodas there, brother?
I keep my eyes closed, and promise God I'll never do it again. And yet I do it again.
I wear sunglasses all the time, boys.
Look again. God, as I'm getting older, I actually haven't been hungover in a while. I never wore sunglasses when I was hungover. I just put my face.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Oh.
just like that's just like a Hollywood.
I don't know. I could see how it would help some people,
How do
but
you-
I don't. Maybe to hide how red your eyes are. if
See,
you
I'm
gotta
usually
go to work
good.
or
Like
something.
look, I like if I have too many cold sodas, that's like getting in the steam room.
Oh, yeah, Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, I'll go in the steam
That's
room.
how you got away with
I'll go
it so
steam room,
long.
disappear for an hour.
They said Sarkisian would drink more than any human alive. Wake up the next morning just absolutely dead. Come out of the sauna like Willy Wonka
Yeah,
at the
I'm
front of the
telling
gate. You know,
all-
like, hey guys,
As
look
my-
at this play. It's
as
called
my friends like to
touchdown.
say, is get them demons out of. It.
Yeah.
All right, John Billingsley with a $10 donut.
Johnny
Ooh,
Bill.
Hold on. Got a sound for that.
I love that sound.
Shopify.
I love that sound. Keep up the good work. You guys seem to understand the lost art of actually being funny and talking about sports at the same time. Top sports show, and it's not even close. Come on, John.
Come on, John.
Pump it up.
I'd love to hear that.
John.
It's hump day.
You're gonna have a great day.
Attack the day.
Let's meet at the
Attack the
gym.
day.
Let's meet
Yeah.
at the gym.
Gus also
Good nice
said Blaine
pump
owes me
in.
10 push-ups for getting my name wrong. Do I get them right now?
Get him right now.
Can they see me?
Hand me the chat. You get your 10 push-ups.
Yeah,
in.
you get your 10 in. Yeah, they can see you.
We can see you.
You get.
You can feel the violence.
Hey, put your
Put
feet
your
near a
feet-
cone. Yeah, there you go. Don't look me in the eyes when you turn around like that, weirdo. There you go. Get him in.
All right.
Look at that. Good. Stay
Blaine owes
down.
me
Stay
10
down. Come
push-ups.
on.
There you go, Gus.
Come on.
There you go, Gus.
Good. That a boy. You're turning red already. That's a good sign. That means your body's in good shape. No, Justine, this isn't the Olympics.
Come on, Jake Paul.
You really want to
Chat, live your life over there. Come on,
Yeah.
Dave.
All right,
live your life in there.
Who's
Dave.
Conru Ron?
Conru Ron?
Conru Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Says there are these are some good booster club bets. How many months for 1,000 wings and who gets to 1,000 wings first?
Ooh, but see, how do you prove
You got to
that?
keep tally, Dave.
You could have
You got to
some
be
huge-
honest.
You could have some huge
Separate board.
600-pound friend.
You got to
that-
get in this.
I don't want to eat 1,000 wings.
You got to get in. You ate a poison chip, Jake. 1,000
Then
wings.
guess what? You know what you do when you eat a poison chip? You don't do it no more. Hell, I couldn't even eat half the chicken fajitas Reed made last night.
Really?
All right, Dave.
And they were fire. Absolutely
Chicken
ridiculous.
fajitas are gas.
No, dude, she is the
We
female
can get
Guy
aboard and
Fieri.
keep up. Like, I trust you. Do you trust me?
Killer Drone says the Daily Wire app needs a chat for the show. There is a chat.
There's a
on
chat.
Daily Wire,
Sure,
on the
yep.
Daily Wire app when you pull up our show.
Science.
And then Robert says no Costas for fishing, the Costa del Mars.
Man,
How's that work?
Dude,
You know,
most
God, I haven't
people-
gone fishing in so long.
Most people love it's for bass fishing. That's what it is. That's what the coasters are for. Most people down south rock it, but man, when you go out, most of the times I went fishing was deep sea.
Dude,
It don't matter what glasses you're
one
putting
of the funniest stories I always tell is Dad. You remember Dad used to take us fishing when I was like 12 and you were like 8. Now I was 13. I think I just turned a teenager. You were 9 or just turned 10 or something. And so we'd go fishing in the morning. We'd leave really early and we're going to be out there till like 3 or 4. And we'd stop at the store, get a couple Mountain Dews for each of us. He'd get a case of Miller Lite, and we get like some ham and cheese sandwiches from the house. Well, when you're out there fishing from like 8 until 3, I run out of both the Mountain Dews by like 11 o'clock. So as a 13-year-old out there at 1 o'clock, you remember he'd be like, all right, he's like, are you really thirsty? And then I'd be out there at 13, he'd let me drink like 1 Miller Lite. It was like rusty and
Well,
it's like being a Griswold out
It's
there.
nothing like when you're young, you really don't realize it, but going to fish at a stock pond,
Oh,
you think it's.
you remember Hardwood Acres?
I'm talking about.
Oh my
You think like this fishing stuff's easy,
Yeah.
right? You just it doesn't matter. You just throw it in there and just woof.
So do you remember we had my birthday out? They had this huge pond in front. We had my birthday out there. I was turning 14 and I had some buddies up. We were gonna fish and so we went driving 4-wheelers, driving around the hunt land and stuff. And I caught a brim, just a normal size brim. And I'm like, all right, there was an area right off the dock that had a bunch of logs and some brush underneath it. And so I was like, I'm just gonna throw the brim back out on the hook and see what happens. So I literally set my rod in the thing on the dock, throw the fish. The fish is on the hook. Okay, I know this may sound evil to some of y'all, but fish eat other fish. Bigger fish eat smaller fish.
Okay, yeah.
That's how it works. So I come back. I think we were throwing the football or something in the front yard for like 10, 15 minutes. I come back and I see my line. It looks like it's in these sticks and in these logs. So I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be stuck. Dad's gonna be pissed. He got me these new lures, Rapalas, I think. And so I'm yanking it and I'm yanking. I'm trying not to break the line. And on the third yank, Free Willy jumps out of the water. 12-pound bass, Cone, I got the picture. 12-pound bass jumps out of the water. I almost fell in the water because I wasn't expecting it. We got this thing. Dad, you know how I knew it was a big fish? I see my father running from the porch on the dock like he was gonna save me from Jaws or something. So me and him, he's wanting me to reel it in. It was like deep sea fishing, dude. I'm like letting it go, bringing it back, letting it go, We got it on the dock. We ended up eating that son of a gun, but I should have got it mounted.
Man.
12-pound bass, cool
All right.
birthday present.
My first fishing story. I'm there. My dad takes me out fishing. It's the whole family. Man, after an hour, I got me a fish, right? I'm reeling in a fish, a little fish, nothing to write home about. I'm not going to mount this thing, little fish. My dad sees another bigger fish coming after him. He's like, wait, you'll get the bigger fish. You'll get the bigger fish.
It's a metaphor for life.
Yeah, the bigger fish came, knocked the little one off. I didn't get either one.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
and it's funny. The bigger fish was literally going to take what you were trying to set him up.
exactly.
He set you up.
If you haven't fought against a 300+ pound tuna before, buddy, I promise you haven't gone fishing.
Yeah, look, it's
Those things kick.
I don't like going that far out in the water. All right,
Robert said good form.
that was good for him.
And then one more here. We got one. Justin Decker said, Cone, I've been a day one booster. I'm a recruiting follower of Jake back before he even started the podcast.
OG.
Recognize an OG.
Oh, Justin
Yeah,
Decker's
OG.
old OG. I'm talking about, hey, guess what? Who's in the entourage when we come rolling up? Justin's in there hanging out to the right with the Costas on. All right, let's get to the Booster Club leaderboard. Sasha, Booster Club 5-0. Nice win last night. Our boy EJ Rudis and real Josh Mahler.
You got 3 5-0.
So I went on Josh's show the other day. It was a lot of fun. He's 5-0. Midnight Crane to George is 2-0. Ulrich Sharber, Sammy, Kyle Jenkins, and Tyson's right hook are all 1-0. Portman Toet. Come on, Steven. You're 0-3. Then Katie Rose, one of our favorite female bettors on here. Katie Rose, 1191. She is 0 for 4. Keep the fight, Katie. Keep the fight. All right, football season's still rocking and rolling. All right, guys, y'all want to get the bets?
Let's do it.
Let's dance. Give me again. I know we said this at the top of the show. Really proud of y'all. We all went 2-0 last night. Went 6-0 last night. Baby Cone went 1-1. So if you really look at it, guys, that's 7-1 night. I know our boy, the pick tracker, had an off night last night in hockey, but he's been doing pretty well. Got started off hot early this month. So here's what I got tonight. All right, we're going back to Maction. All right, we're going back to Maction because why not? This is America. All right, and we talk about the Mid-American Conference, not the left or the right.
The middle of America matters.
The mid. Oh my God, it has the word mid in it. They're the Mid-American Conference. Can you believe that?
The Mid-American.
Oh no, and it fits perfectly.
Yeah, it makes
wow. All right, well,
fun to watch.
We're breaking barriers here, modern day Aristotle. All right, give me Buffalo, Central Michigan over 48, guys. I hit a 3-team parlay last night. I'm going to double up on a little parlay today. I'm feeling dangerous, woke up, chose violence and success. Figure that out. So Buffalo, Central Michigan, buying that down, over 48. Then give me Bowling Green, the Fighting Lefflers.
Are you going with Bowling Green?
I'm going
too?
Bowling Green. Bought it up to 7.5. That's a parlay together for plus 117, guys. So the over 48, Bowling Green plus 7.5. That's coming off at plus money at plus 117. And then look, Western Michigan, Illinois, 3-16 versus 2-17. Again, it's like going to a trash can convention, but you got to pick somebody. Western Michigan. A lot of people are on the over in this game in 50. Western Michigan is going to run the ball 1,000 times tonight. Northern Illinois has had problems at quarterback. I know their defense had really struggled early in the year. They're playing a little bit better. I almost went under, but Western Michigan, the difference between them and Northern Illinois right now, they're the only team that has a chance to make a bowl. How much does Northern Illinois really care? Getting close to Thanksgiving, you're missing mom, hanging out with your girlfriend a little bit more, starting to drink a little eggnog, getting the Christmas vibes, wear the candy canes. Give me Western Michigan, the old PJ Fleck boat rowers, plus 100 on the money line. Western Michigan money line. Cone, what do you got?
I like that. I am also going to take the Bowling Green Falcons. Money line plus 110. I think Scott Leffler maybe dials up a little speed break Diana, right side, $300. Y stick, H through. Maybe we can that with 54X slush. I don't know. And then I'm going to take the Canes money line. They're playing at the Panthers, okay, in hockey, on the ice, minus 105. Lock me in.
Dude, I love the success you're having with the hockey bets. Blaine Nasium,
Yes.
what are you going with?
I'm going the over first with the Buffalo Bulls and the Central Michigan, were the Chippewas? Chippewas. Give me the over 49.5. I bought this game down. I think a couple points. I think that's going off at a minus 170. And give me Western Michigan minus a half point at home in the first half.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to be up in the first half, running the ball. This is going to be a close game, but I think being at home matters.
Yeah. Baby Cone, 16-8 on the month. Here he goes. He's going to take Buffalo money line and Western Michigan money line. Just two straight up bets. You love to see it.
Might have to put him in timeout.
Yeah, look, you need to have a talk with him, okay? Like, you're his father. You can determine whether or not he's able to take away his computer access.
Yeah.
You know, I know he does a lot of research. Big fan of Mike Golick Jr. But he's kind of kicking our ass a little bit, David.
Yeah.
Okay?
I got to get that under control.
All right, please. Get it under control. Handle it. Lock
Hey,
it
check
up.
out your birthday gift.
Oh, what is it? Oh, hold on. Oh, AirPods.
AirPods. Let's
Thank you,
go.
Coach.
That's a team effort.
Thanks, Coach.
Great job, Coach.
Thank
Team
you,
effort.
everybody back there. Thank you, guys. I'll actually really, really use these. Now I don't have to wear those big headset things when I run. I look like I'm
Look
something
like
the
Haynes
80s.
King.
I'm like, hey, man, sorry. I'm just listening to the Walkman while I'm running,
like a
man.
song.
The Walkman was elite.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not making fun of the Walkman, but we've made progress.
remember
It's the
the-
same reason I'm not rolling around in a Flintstone car. right now.
Or have the boombox
Yeah,
on your
that's
shoulder.
exactly. I'm not spinning on some cardboard right now with a boombox next to me.
All right, fellas. Poll.
Oh,
Is the Alabama Dynasty, did you see the poll?
I did not. I couldn't even pull it up.
Oh,
Is the Alabama
But I'll go
Dynasty
first if it
is the
helps.
Alabama Dynasty over?
No. 85%.
I mean, I'm gonna say no, 84%.
Yes. 40%.
Whoa,
That's 60.
60%.
People think maybe Nick
That's a
Saban's
lot
done.
more. It's like last night. It's a lot more down the middle than a lot of people thought when that poll came out.
Is Nick Saban done, or is Kirby just on the way up?
Well, I don't think it's a 1v1 thing. I think it's college football and the way it's changed and evolving. Like I said, with the transfer portal and NIL and you know, being able to stay 9 years after COVID. I mean, you still got guys who are gonna be coming back next year because of COVID. Hell, I'm watching. What's the one quarterback? The Rourke guy's been at Ohio. It seems like for 30 years. But there's somebody, Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford was at Penn State and Joe Paterno's last year. I mean, when's this guy going to graduate? Still can't beat
He's
Ohio
about to
State.
break the Penn State passing record this week.
Yeah, because he's broken the Penn State, played in so many games at quarterback. record. Like eventually when you play in 1,000 games at quarterback, that's what happens.
Reed wants you to take her deep sea fishing.
Reed, you want to go deep sea fishing. You want to go do safaris in Africa. You want me to go to like the stratosphere and then come back. There's really dangerous things. We'll do it. I'll do deep sea fishing under 2 conditions. 1, they have to cook the food on the boat. And 2, I'm not catching a shark. All right? If I'm going to catch a shark, I'm going to do it with my bare hands.
You only live once, man. You catch that baby shark.
You sound like a
Baby shark?
unless the shark jumps
It's a baby
out of
shark,
the
I'm
water.
good.
Unless the shark jumps out of the
What
water.
I'm saying is I don't want to be reeling something in and all of a sudden, you know, hear the
No, look. There's nothing
How sick
wilder
would
to
that be
be
to
like
be on a
if
boat?
you're 100+ miles out. Once you get like
100 miles out?
yeah, to go deep sea fishing, you're the only one out there.
100
and,
miles
like,
out.
There's nothing you can see. Yeah, people go 200+ miles out.
Really?
Yeah.
200 miles out in the ocean.
What about 300?
Yeah.
What about 400?
I don't know about
you know
that,
what those people are
go
called?
like, yeah,
Pirates.
Stick with me now.
No, like
500 miles
it's
out.
never ending. Like, we still can't go to certain places.
I don't know.
Antarctica.
That feels like I feel like deep sea fishing, you go like 10 miles out.
No, you can.
I don't think people are going 100 miles out.
Yes,
that's going to put
people
you.
go 200+. Like my buddies last weekend went 150 miles out in the ocean.
What'd they find?
They just caught snapper and tuna.
Atlantis or
They find the Black Pearl?
Maybe.
yeah, I didn't know you hung out
Jack
with
Sparrow.
When you're out
now I
there-
get it. Now I get Steve the Pirate.
No, but when
Steve
you're
the
out there,
Pirate.
like it's a really eerie feeling. Like,
Yeah, that's
look
why I don't
around,
go
there's
out there.
Nothing. You're like, I can see why people come this far to kill people. Like,
Well, all right. Well, hope you're not telling on yourself. Appreciate everybody there. Booster Club, great job
Yeah.
as well, guys. Thanks for the AirPods. These are going to get put to use. We appreciate y'all, guys. Make sure you are subscribed on all platforms, especially to this YouTube channel. We want to keep growing like a weed every morning, 7:30 to 9 Eastern, 6:30 to 8 Central. And like the chances of Western Michigan letting me down tonight, we're going. Gone.